Batman versus Black Panther. Two kings of the night, two tactical masterminds, and two of the most dangerous fighters their universes have ever produced. One relies on sheer human perfection, unshakable willpower, and an arsenal built from preparation. The other wields the blessings of the Panther God, the might of Wakanda's technology, and strength that borders on superhuman. This is one of those matchups where brains, brawn, and legacy collide, and only one walks away the victor. So let's get to it. Bruce Wayne, the boy born into Gotham's wealthiest family, seemingly destined for a life of privilege. But then came the gunshots in Crime Alley, the night Thomas and Martha Wayne were murdered in front of their son. And in that moment, Bruce's life changed forever. He swore an impossible vow to dedicate everything he had, his fortune, his mind, his very body, to waging war on crime. And out of that vow came something more than a man, something criminals would come to fear in their very bones. He became the Batman. Now here's the thing about Batman. You'd expect a normal human to be out of his league in a world of gods, aliens, and monsters. But Bruce, he's anything but normal. He's trained himself past the limits of peak humanity. Strength-wise, this man can bench press over 1,000 pounds, tear through steel, and knock around opponents who weigh multiple tons. His punches collapse walls. His kicks launch metahumans through the air. People love to say Batman is just a man, but look closer and you'll see. He's in the same ballpark as super soldiers. If Captain America is the gold standard of human potential, Batman's right there with him. In durability, Batman has that covered too. Even without the Batsuit, Bruce has endured punishment that would kill almost anyone else. We're talking hits from Wonder Woman, Venom-pumped Bane, and Deathstroke. And with the armor, he's tanked bullets, explosions, electricity, and blows from Aquaman, Professor Zoom, and even Superman himself, sometimes when they weren't holding back. Sure, he gets hurt, but the fact that he can stand up again after that kind of punishment tells you all you need to know. Then there's the speed. Batman doesn't just move fast. He moves so fast that normal people look like they're standing still. He dodges bullets all the time. Not just lucky dodges either. We're talking about dodging automatic gunfire, bullets from point-blank range, even reacting in the middle of chaotic battles where metahumans are moving at superhuman speeds. To him, that's just another Tuesday. But the real weapon? His mind. Batman is widely considered one of the greatest martial artists in all of DC Comics. He's mastered every fighting style known to man, plus a few alien ones for good measure. He can switch styles mid-fight, predict his opponent's next move, and fight with such instinct that it's like his body reacts before his brain even has to think. He's held his own against fighters like Lady Shiva, Bronze Tiger, and Karate Kid, names that top the charts for deadliest martial artist. And more often than not, Bruce wins. Because he doesn't just fight, he outthinks, he out-adapts. And let's not forget the gadgets, batarangs, explosives that can knock Kryptonians back, electrical weapons with tens of thousands of volts, sonic grenades, knockout gas, you name it, it's in the utility belt. Every single tool has a purpose, and Batman knows how to deploy them perfectly in the heat of combat. But at the end of the day, the thing that makes Batman terrifying isn't the gadgets or even the training, it's the genius. He's a master strategist, a tactician whose plans can and have taken down gods. Superman himself has said it. Batman is the most dangerous man on Earth, because when Bruce is given time to prepare, there's almost no one in the DC universe who's safe from him. That's why Batman is more than just Gotham's protector. He's more than just a founding member of the Justice League. He's proof that even in a universe filled with beings who can bend reality and shatter planets, one man, driven, relentless, unbreakable, can stand alongside them. He's not a god, he's not an alien, he's not enhanced by some lab experiment. He's something scarier. He's the Batman. T'Challa, the Black Panther, King of Wakanda, protector of a nation that's centuries ahead of the rest of the world in science, magic, and technology. From the moment his father died and the mantle passed to him, T'Challa stepped into an impossible role: ruler, warrior, scientist, and God-touched champion all at once. And what makes him so dangerous is that he excels at every single one of those roles. The heart-shaped herb gave him strength, speed, and senses that push him into the super soldier range. But that was just the beginning. Later, the Panther goddess Bast chose him as the King of the Dead, which gave T'Challa access to all the knowledge, skill, and strength of every Black Panther that came before him. Imagine having thousands of lifetimes of combat experience, tactical knowledge, and raw willpower, all coursing through you at once. That's the level T'Challa operates on. And his physical power is no joke. Panther has shattered metal with his bare hands, tossed around multi-ton boulders, and casually taken down charging rhinos that weigh 5 tons or more. He can go toe-to-toe with other enhanced fighters like Captain America and Wolverine, often overpowering them outright. And he's shown he can hang with far stronger opponents too, like knocking around Venom or even Namor. But when he's in his King of the Dead state, that's when things get scary. He's injured Hulk-level beings, beaten down Thanos' Black Order General Black Dwarf, and even landed a blow strong enough to make the Hulk bleed. That's T'Challa when he's amped up. Durability, off the charts. Even without the suit, he's gone days in battle against Killmonger, who's strong enough to one-shot an elephant. And when you add the Panther habit, made of pure vibranium, he becomes almost untouchable. Bullets bounce off, blades snap, even thunderbolts from Storm, blasts from Phoenix-possessed Namor, and attacks from Galactus' heralds can't put him down. His armor doesn't just protect, it absorbs and redirects force, turning incoming damage into his own weapon. And don't sleep on his speed. T'Challa has danced around automatic gunfire, outrun Wolverine and Captain America, and even tagged Spider-Man despite the spider's sense. He's cut bullets out of the air mid-flight and dodged everything from energy beams to sonic blasts. To most people, he's just a blur of claws, motion, and destruction. But what truly sets T'Challa apart is his skill. He's mastered every martial art on Earth, plus secret Wakandan techniques no outsider has ever even seen. He's beaten fighters like Captain America, Daredevil, Iron Fist, Wolverine, and even a Super Skrull who had absorbed the skills of basically every martial artist alive, including T'Challa himself. If you're fighting Black Panther, you're fighting someone who knows your next move before you do. And then there's the arsenal. Wakandan tech is already beyond anything on Earth, but in T'Challa's hands, it becomes lethal. He's got anti-metal claws that rip apart any metal at the molecular level, even slicing into Namor's flesh. He can summon the Spear of Bashinga, a weapon that hits both the body and the soul. He's wielded mythical weapons like the Ebony Blade and Skybreaker, carries energy daggers that can cut through literally anything, and can use teleporters, explosives, and power gauntlets that let him crush even Namor in combat. And as the King of the Dead, T'Challa has one last card to play. He can commune with the spirits of Wakanda's past kings, or summon them as an army. Imagine going up against Black Panther and realizing you're not just fighting one man, you're fighting the entire legacy of Wakanda. That's the level of threat T'Challa brings to the table. He's not just a king. He's not just a warrior. He's the Black Panther. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Batman vs. Black Panther is a pretty great Marvel vs. DC matchup. Two of the best street-level heroes out there, two expert fighters and tacticians, two brilliant men with massive arsenals to pull on. Pretty similar layout for a fight. Now, I'm not really going to try and argue which one of these two heroes is the smarter and more strategic one, or who's the better or more skilled fighter. Because as good as both of them are, well, it's close enough to where it's going to be a draw pretty much across the board. Like, hard to argue that Batman is necessarily the better strategizer or tactician when Black Panther has contingency plans to take down every single person in the Marvel Universe, including Galactus. Hard to argue that Black Panther is the better and more skilled fighter, because even though he's mastered every fighting style, well, so has Batman. Realistically, Batman probably holds the slight edge in both of these areas, but by no means is it enough to definitively say that Bruce holds a big advantage over T'Challa. Like I said, pretty equal, which means this fight is going to be in large part decided on physicality and tech. And I think Black Panther is going to take the edge in both of those categories. Now, Batman's called just peak human, but his feats push him way beyond that. For strength, he's ripped steel doors apart, shattered concrete with his punches, even floored Solomon Grundy. His speed is just as wild, dodging machine gun fire point blank, reacting to sniper rounds after they're fired, or even outreacting Darkseid's Omega beams. In durability, Bruce is taking attacks from Wonder Woman and even Superman, all while fighting through broken bones and still winning. Batman doesn't just stand with gods because of his mind and skill. His body alone makes him one of the most dangerous men alive. But for as impressive as Batman is, well, he is still peak human. Black Panther is more than that. Batman is strong, but Panther is clearly stronger. Honestly, with Panther being in a different tier when you factor in the King of the Dead amp. But even outside of that, knocking around Namor and ragdolling multi-ton animals is no small thing. In the same way that Captain America is stronger than Batman, well, Black Panther is stronger than Batman as well. Speed is probably fairly equal. Both are fast enough to repeatedly tag speedsters, but it's really Black Panther's durability in the vibranium suit. Batman just has no reliable way to injure T'Challa through the suit. It's just that tough. It's that OP. The suit allows Panther to take punches from Hulk or Namor, or a whole onslaught from a bloodlusted Iron Fist. Batman isn't gonna really do too much with just his fists. They can block knives and blades, completely negate explosions and energy attacks. Electricity doesn't do anything. Vibranium just outright prevents EMP attacks. Worst comes to worse, it can also generate external force fields to stop attacks. There's really nothing in Batman's arsenal that can reliably get through Panther's vibranium armor. Batman would have a really hard time injuring Black Panther. On the other hand, for as good as Batman's tech is, Black Panther's tech is the better one in this fight. Batman has a larger arsenal and more tech, But Panther's vibranium tech is just so good. Like the anti-metal Antarctic vibranium claws will just be able to shred through Batman's suit, instantly breaking it down on the molecular level. He's also got energy daggers that can just straight bypass armor and stab right through anything. Black Panther also has magical blades and weapons too, which could hurt Batman's body and soul at the same time with a direct hit. Black Panther is really the worst matchup for Batman in the typical Marvel DC fights. Because, look at Batman versus Captain America. Captain America is physically superior to Batman, but Batman can rely on his greater skill and stealth and intelligence to win. That's not the case for fighting Panther, because Panther is still physically superior, but he's just as skilled and he's just as smart and he's just as stealthy. And like Batman versus Spider-Man, well, you can argue that Batman would win because of his skill and weapons and tech. But Black Panther, arguably, has the greater tech out of the two. At the very least, tech and weapons that will instantly bypass Batman's durability, and that's just scratching the surface. Batman could still give Black Panther a very good fight, because he's Batman. But, end of the day, well, Panther should still be the last one standing here. Black Panther wins.